Cool.
Right, so show us what you got so far.
Oh shit, that's soloed. My bad. Sorry mate, bear with. I haven't opened this file in a long time. Some of the channels aren't on.
Okay.
Let's try again. I thought this was another song.
Cool. Definitely a nice start to it.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to sort of go back to this area here. This is where it seems to be most of it seems to be performing. So I do Command L, set the loop point. It's quite an interesting one. I've noticed you set the BPM to 86 BPM,
Yeah.
so you've done exactly half the drum bass speed.
Mhm.
So why have you done it as that?
I think it's because I don't know. I thought it's the same as 172, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I just like I don't know. I like the metronome being a bit slower, like when I'm recording in MIDI.
Okay.
Just like when you obviously the metronome's like half the time, so it's easier to record.
Sure.
I'm trying to keep up with it. And plus, when I imported a break, a sampled like break,
It got confused with their BPM, it's in.
yeah, I think there's like that. It just works better when I put it in on a slower BPM.
Yeah, I think it's 86.
Mhm.
So the break's pretty clean.
Mhm.
So let's have a look at the instruments individually.
I haven't worked on this track on ages because this was the first track from the EP, and I worked on it too much and it was starting to annoy me, so I decided to start on the next track.
Sure.
So I've been doing the other track, but it's the first time I've opened this in ages.
So you've got a bit of reverb going on here,
Mhm.
really. So I'm just going to turn off the. So what I noticed when you're playing the track, it's quite airy
Mhm.
due to the instruments having quite a bit of reverb in each one.
Mhm.
It's kind of, when you're doing tracks individually, it sounds good, it fills in the gap.
Mhm.
But in terms of sort of distance, it can kind of create illusion that things are more distant than they really are.
Mhm.
And also with reverb, there's some problematic frequency bands when adding reverbs, particularly with drums.
Yeah.
So with hi-hats, because they're so rapid and in the high end, they're for example, when there's a lot of reverb, the reverb tail kind of overlaps on each other.
Yeah.
So you get this constant hiss.
Yeah.
So it leaves it kind of undefined.
Mhm.
And the same occurs in the low end. If you have sort of a low end rumble from the kick drum, yet again the reverb tails might overlap when the next kick occurs.
Yeah.
So you just have this constant bass note. So by doing that, that'll muddy up the mix. So it's always advised with drums to kind of avoid reverb in the low and high region. Now, listening to that, this is a bit of a break. I think there's the break itself probably, it sounds like it's originally from some sample breaks as well.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's already got reverb there, so I don't think the reverb's required, and it'll probably just make the drums sound a little bit more up front.
Yeah.
So let's have a listen to the other drums. So you got.
I just really like reverb on drums.
Yeah.
Just sounds way too tight like that for me. Could be a bit smaller there.
Yeah, have you ever heard of the Abbey Road technique when it comes to reverb? So EQing reverb.
No.
Let me show you a little technique. So I'm just going to do it with these drums here, what we've got going on here. So it requires using an auxiliary send. If sort of traditionally multi-effects are sent auxes. So if I create a new one, so I'm going to create a return track.
Oh yeah, sure.
We're on demo mode, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do you use this reverb tool on the?
That one?
Yep.
What is that?
It's on the aux return. So it looks like your tracks don't actually use it because you've got the sends here.
Yeah, just, if it's not being used, get rid of it.
Okay, so if I do Command R, and let's call it drum reverb for now. And we're going to use the same reverb that you got on here, so you still have the same texture. So I'm just going to Command C it, and then Command V, so just pop it in. So we've got your, and let's take it off the actual drums itself. So off they go. So on the channel you've got the aux send. So we turn up A, you can hear it's now going into the reverb.
Okay.
So if we solo,
you not have to choose where it's been sent to.
Yeah, so you can actually have multiple instruments going into the same reverb.
Okay. How do I know that this is A there? Oh, okay, so it's A there.
Yeah, there, A.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can set how much is going in. Because NELZEN technically split the signal, so we've got the dry one, which is the raw one, and then just the reverb one. We can start EQing the reverb, so if I put that in like that, we're hearing just the reverb. So that's just the reverb itself. So with the reverb, you can do a bit of EQing to get rid of some frequencies when not needed. So if I go to audio effects, and I'm going to get a EQ8 if it's got it.
No, it's just free.
It's just free, okay.
Although there is, there's a lot more complex. There's.
Let's try this one. That might work.
Yeah, that one's you can like cut off each individual
so it's
frequency.
A paragraphic. Let's try quite crudely filter if it allows it. Yeah, that'll allow it. So it's a tight one. Excellent. So if I just start with a low pass filter. So you might be able to hear the speakers, that kind of real low end rumble. Like there. Almost sounds like fireworks in distance. So that would be, maybe some people argue not to have that in the track because it's just adding sub to your track, because that's going to be featured in the track itself. So the Abbey Road technique is to use a filter, usually like a sweep like this, like a shelf, and move up until you hear definition of the instrument itself. So it's about 220 hertz. So I'm going to switch that to a high pass filter. So it's just taking out the rumble. Hopefully your version will allow it again. There we go. Can you hear that real just high end? So that's just white noise.
Okay, you're going to cut that off as well.
Yeah. So I can hear a little bit of this, the snare there.
Mhm.
It's about there. So just roll it off. You can hear that. It's just that little bit tighter now. So I might just roll that back to about. Remember, this is just the reverb we're doing. So if you have your drums back on again. It's got the punch to it, but the reverb, take this off. Sounds a bit too much now.
A bit tighter.
So you've got the space. So you've got but you still got the punch now because it's not getting swabbed out.
Okay. Just tidies it up.
Yeah. So that's known as the Abbey Road technique. So they originally did that on vocals. So you can have big vocal, like big space vocal, it doesn't sound in the distance. So you're cutting out the unwanted frequency. So we just remove the unwanted sort of bass and high from the drums. So yet again, you can hear the real rumble now.
Yeah. That's it.
And I reckon if you wanted to, this is your drum break, innit? Get a little bit of that reverb too.
Okay, just tidying up the mix a lot.
So you still got the reverb there, but the drums sound up front now, which you want for what you want for actual dance production. So you've got the big reverb drums, but you're still keeping the punch.
Okay.
Take these off.
Nice.
So let's just put it back in the mix. There we are. So just keep your reverb. And you can do that for other instruments as well. So explore doing that.
Just send it all to that channel.
Not all, but maybe you can create another reverb for instruments, so you can have a longer tail. And do the same trick. And it might work with the horns as well. So you might keep the woo woo of the horns. Cut that out from the reverb, so you just have more of the texture, the mid range.
Okay.
So yeah, carry on doing that. Try apply that with your other tracks, so you get on.